Welcome back, guys. On our previous videos, we were trying to understand the behavior of a quadratic function, but we haven't talked about how to find the x and the y-intercept. Remember, on our introduction video to this quadratic, we said that the equation of a quadratic is as follows: is x squared ax squared plus q, where we say that the a is determine the shape and the q is the turning point, which is also the y-intercept. So it means that it is very easy also here to find what the y-intercept is going to be. Very easy for us. So what is the y-intercept of this one? The y-intercept is going to be 0 and negative 12. If you don't understand this, guys, what is an x-intercept and what is a y-intercept, I've made a video on this playlist. Actually, if you can scroll back, you can find this video where I introduce this kind of stuff of x-intercept and the y-intercept. We're going to understand it very clearly there. Now we are doing this kind of questions. So this is the y-intercept. Why we put 0? Because whenever we want the y-intercept, the value of x have to be always be equal to 0. So on this following question, I'm no longer going to find the y-intercept. Why? Is because this is very easy. You can be able to see it clearly. I'm going to focus mostly on the x-intercept because that's one that is the one that is challenging. So finding the x-intercept, let me just change this one because it's too big. So finding the x-intercept, actually, we know the x-intercept, we know we always have to put y, we have to let y be equal to 0. No? So whenever there is y on our equation, we're going to put 0, 3x minus 12. You see? Perfect. So what do we do here? Hey, this is 3x squared. No? Yes. So what are we going to do? We want to solve for x. We're going to take this 12 to the other side. It's going to be 12, which is equals to 3x squared. So from here, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Divide both sides by 3. And then our x squared is going to be equals to what? 12 divided by 3 is going to give you 4. Perfect. So what I want you to understand here, the purpose of me doing this video, I want you to understand this, is that on a quadratic equation, let me just try to redraw it here. A quadratic equation, it is something like this. It is something like this, whereby it has two x-intercepts. It does not have one like a straight line. It has two. What does this mean? It means that when you are looking for the x-intercept, you have to find two values that are equal to x. You're not going to find one. You're going to find two of them. So the x squared here, it means that you have to find the two answers of value of x. So how can we find the x value here? We have to square both sides. So we're going to put the square root and the square root. So when you put the square root on the other side, the x value is going to be equals to plus or minus the square root of 4. So we're going to get a positive value and the negative value of what? Of the x squared. I want you to keep that one in mind. Whenever you square any number, you're going to get both two numbers, the positive one and the negative number. So our first x is going to be equals to the square root of 4. When it is positive, it's going to give us 2. Or our value of x is when the x, the square root of negative 4x squared. You're going to do it like this. I'm just going to say negative, and you put 4, and you put this one. I'm going to get negative 2. Perfect. So these are the two x-intercepts. And remember, this is not an x-intercept. It's what? This is the x-coordinate. The x-intercept is the coordinate that they are looking for. So our coordinate is going to be 2 and 0 and what? And negative 2 and 0. So these are our x-intercept. Let's just practice it more so that you can be able to see how we do this in more questions. So now let's just take a look at this one. The y-intercept, we're not focusing on it. We're going to focus on the x-intercept because the y-intercept is very easy. It's going to be 4, So the x-intercept, we have to let y be equal to 0. So we're going to put 0 here, negative 4x squared plus 4. And we take this one to the other side. It's going to be negative 4, which is equal to negative 4x squared. So from here on, I'm going to divide by both sides by negative 4, and then our x squared is going to be equal to what? to 1. Remember, you have to get two answers here, and we are looking for the value of x, not the x squared. So we're going to square both sides, square both sides. When we square both sides, we're going to get plus or minus square root of 1. We're going to get two answers. So we're going to still do the same thing over here. Your first x is going to be equals to what? 1, or the second x is going to be equals to what? To negative 1. So this is not the x-intercept, is the x coordinate of the x-intercept. So the x-intercept is the coordinate that we're going to find here. It's going to be 1 and 0, or it's going to be negative 1 and 0. This is how to find the x-intercept. Now let's just take a look at the third question. To find the x-intercept, we know that when we look for the x-intercept, y have to be equal to 0. We want to put 0 here, and negative 1 over 2 x squared plus 8. So from here on, I'm going to simplify. What I like to do is to take this negative to the other side. It's going to be 1 over 2 x squared. You can do it in any way. It's still going to give you the same answer. So I'm going to divide both sides by 1 over 2, 1 over 2, and then our x squared is equals to 16. So now we have to square root. We have to square root both sides, and then our x is going to be equals to plus or minus what? The square root of 16. So we're going to first punch the square root of 16, which is positive, and punch the square root of 16, which is negative. The first one is going to give you 4, or the second one is going to give you negative 4. And bear in mind, in grade 10, whenever we are looking for the x-intercept, the value of the x-intercepts have to be equal. Have to be equal. Why? Is because our graph is always something like this. It comes from the turning point is on the origin there. This part here is going to be equal to this part. The distance between these is going to be equal to this. So hence, whenever we're looking for the x-intercept, we're going to get the same two answers that just differ from the signs, the negative and the positive one. So now let's just write down our coordinate. It's going to be 4 and 0, and negative 4 and 0. Now let's just take a look at the last one. So this one, we're going to look for the x-intercept. So the x-intercept, for the x-intercept, we're going to let y be equal to 0. So we're going to put 0 here, x squared plus 4. So from here on, we're going to solve for x. We're going to take this one to the answer. That's going to be negative 4, which is equals to the x squared. So then when you put the square root both sides here, x squared is going to give you the undefined. If you can take your calculator here and put negative 4, you're going to get undefined. So what does this tell you? Whenever you get something like this, your answer is going to be no solution. No solution is going to be your answer. Why this one does not have the x-intercept? This kind of graph is that kind of graph whereby it does not touch the x-axis. This kind of a graph is something that starts from here. The 4 is here. It does not have the x-intercept. Remember, the x-intercept are the points that touches the graph there. So whenever you try to solve for the x-intercept and you get undefined, don't be scared. It's still correct. It means that that kind of a graph, it does not touch the x-axis. This one will only have the y-intercept, which is going to be what? 0 and 4, which is this one. Is very, very easy. So this is it for this video. See you on my next video.